thought I would film just a quick video this morning to follow up on something. I planted oats all along this pollinator row last year, and I planted oats in my large corn patch. I ended up using it a whole lot as a fodder to feed that horse that lives next door. But that wasn't the purpose that I planted it. I planted it as a ground cover, and I wanted to have the root systems and the stubble and all to till up into my soil, and that's what happened, and I'm so pleased today. I went to Walmart yesterday to get something else, and they got me. I walked by a rack, and it had a bunch of roots and tubers and different things you could plant. This is hollyhock roots. These are red, but I also got the pink and the black hollyhocks. And there's only 2 roots per bag. So I just dug 6 holes here, and it said to do them 12 to 18 inches apart. And what I'm doing is I'm planting a red, then I'm going to do a black, and then a pink, and then a red, then a black, then a pink. I'm doing it right up against this chicken wire that's protecting my garden back here. Hopefully I'll have pumpkin plants and cushaws spreading all throughout this area here shortly, and putting off a bunch of vines. And that'll kind of go up to this fence. Then these hollyhocks will kind of be growing in the front of the fence if they do good. I've never really bought a lot of root type things or tubers from Walmart or anything, but you know, I'm willing to try it. I think they'll do fine. And then I've got a lot of flowers planted and coming up. Hard to see because they're little, but they're coming up all in this pollinator row. But my point of the video was I dug the holes. I stuck the hollyhock roots down in here. This is the little dirt from their package on them. As I was starting to cover things up, I just started noticing all the little stubble from my oats. And it's everywhere. It's on top of my ground. It's down in the soil. That's oat stubble right there. I have a lot of it that's still green along this little fence line. But the stubble and everything is what I'm concerned about. And look, when you grab I just grabbed a random handful of soil, and it's all up in there. And I'm gonna cover those hollyhocks with that and cover it all back up. But I think the point I wanted to make is that these oats, see here's some right here, is that these oats made a really good ground cover. They were easy to grow. They looked beautiful. They came up beautiful green, and they never changed color. They just stayed a beautiful green. And the horse enjoyed the top parts, and I have enjoyed what it's doing to my soil. This soil here is so beautiful. In parts of my yard, it's beautiful. In other parts of my yard, it's a little bit rocky. But all in all, I think these oats are just gonna add a wonderful, wonderful tilth to my soil. They're all down in here. Anything you see that's white or tan, that's the oat stubble. And it's everywhere. It's just everywhere, all up in here. I love it. I love it. It's a success. I recommend it. I got the oats at my co-op. They came in brown paper bags. You could get a 5-pound bag or a 10-pound bag, or I imagine farmers could get them bigger than that. And they were very inexpensive. I think it was it might have been like $5 for a 5-pound. So it's like $1 a pound, maybe $10 for a 10-pound bag. But I think it was a good deal. I didn't have a whole lot of area to cover, just the little corn patch, the back half of it, and this pollinator row. And what I planted, I just planted on top of the ground. I didn't, I kind of loosened my soil. You know, my soil wasn't compacted. I loosened my soil with a rake and everything, a little metal rake. And then I just threw the seeds down there and got the water hose out and started watering. And I made sure that I went over there every day and watered them. And that's all it took. I didn't have to put them down in the ground. I didn't have to cover them, come back and cover them with dirt or anything like that. They just rooted just like that. So that's a plus, because that was not a lot of labor. So inexpensive ground cover, that's a plus. Not a lot of labor, that's a plus. It provided some beauty in my yard in the middle of winter when nothing else was green. That's a plus. It provided fodder for that horse, which I like to help out. She's so sweet, and I like to give her something to eat. So that's a plus. And then it's also just making my soil so rich with nutrients and everything with this fodder that's down in the bottom of it, the roots and everything. So my neighbor came over with his disc and disced this up. That's how it got that way. Well, the roots were already in the ground, but that's how they got all kind of chopped up in here. And I just think it's gonna make this whole pollinator row do better. I think it's gonna just make my soil better. I have pretty soil up here, but I can tell it's a little bit lacking in some nutrients. So anything I can do to add to my soil and to the tilth of my soil, I'm gonna do, and that makes me happy. This is Lainey at Hilltop Home Place. I just thought I would point this out while I was noticing it. And if you need a ground cover for a flower bed or any kind of little garden spot, pollinator area or anything, I would recommend using Oats. And check your local co-op and just ask them if they have the seeds or if they can get the seeds for you. Thank y'all so much. You have a great day. Bye-bye.